I love how the quality just downgrades from the last time I filmed. Okay, that's okay. It was on my phone. My phone has no storage because of all the photos and videos. Ew, I hate this quality. Hold on. Hold on. Pause. Okay, we're gonna hope that's better. I have no idea. Oh, why is it so bright? Go back. We're gonna leave it. It's fine. We're not talking for long. So, for the longest time this semester, I don't want to say dreading. I haven't been dreading it. I've been like terrified of the New Orleans trip because I was like, I'm the least experienced jazz musician, and like, I'm not a big fan of jazz, but I'm going for the experience, and la da 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 da. Like, I didn't feel prepared whatsoever. Um, but the trip happened. I came back. We're here. We're alive. No plane crashed. I didn't lose luggage. We did actually have an instrument left back in New Orleans. Um, but yeah, basically, we made it, and we had three performances on that trip. The first one was it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just an experience. Second one, pretty great, even though nobody really was there to listen. Third one, it was a little like it was iffy. It was really warm, and so like all the kids, because we were in an elementary school, and a lot of the kids were like seeking shade. So we thought at first that they were leaving, and we're like, they can just do that, but no, they were just seeking shade, and it all worked out. But after that, like I was in tears at that performance, and I can't even. Sorry, the playoffs are happening, and I'm like invested in the Canucks. I don't know if you know me. I'll jump back to New Orleans. Hold on. I don't know if you know me, but I've religiously watched and stayed updated on the Canucks this whole season, and a bit of last too. Um, basically, we're playing game 5 right now. They just got into a fight. We're playing game 5 right now, I believe. And if we win this one, then we go to the next round. But if we don't, then like we have to play it until we win the fourth game, or win 4 games, basically. Yeah. But yeah, if you don't know, like I stay updated on that. Like have I not? I no, that was last year. Last year I went to a Canucks game, and like my leg, I was on crutches, and I met the Sedin twins. This year I haven't gone to a game yet because they're like hundreds of dollars, and playoff tickets are thousands of dollars, or over 1,000. And I barely have $50 in my wallet. Like, can't go. Um, but my dad said if they play a seventh game, we could go. So I was like, okay. But I don't want them to play a seventh game. But like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be so cool to go. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not able to, like, when they play on Mondays and some Wednesdays, like depending on if they're playing like international and like they're ahead in the time or whatever, like I may or may not be able to watch them. So then like my friend updates me instead, and we got like this thing going where we like update each other, we're spamming each other, and like we never just call, which is kind of dumb. Like we always just start spamming each other over text. Like I don't understand. We should just call at this point. Like it's kind of stupid, but it's a little late in the series for that. But yeah, basically back to New Orleans. I was sobbing after that third concert. um it was just like, it was just milestone. Like I made it, I did it. Like I feel so good about it. Like it actually means something, not just to me but also these little kids. um yeah, I don't know, I just really struggle with the fact that we're going to be an example, and I didn't feel like I was an example because I didn't know as much as these other musicians, and I'm not as good, I don't know as much theory, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I didn't feel good enough to really go on the trip. And then finally we started to sound good, and like we were really doing it. And I was like, okay, there's no turning back now. Like we're going. And yeah, it makes me emotional every single time I think about it. Like I've had to tell this story to all my friends today about like how this performance made me so emotional. And I was like, no guys, just like they saw me crying. And I was like, just let me be, let me cry. Um, Cause yeah, like I get to tell my therapist this next week, like milestone, like little me would be like, wow, that's so cool. But like grade 7 me, I always relate myself back to grade 7 me, cause I was like my lowest time, that was where I struggled the most. I would beg to differ that I have struggled more since then. Um, but that was like the longest amount of time that I've struggled. Like I've struggled in periods here and there for maybe like a couple days, couple weeks. Haven't had a really long period of like a month so far, but grade seven was a really long period of time that was just really difficult. So I always compare everything back to little grade seven me who didn't know what was gonna happen the next day, and yeah, it makes me emotional because I want to tell her all of this that happens, all of this that I get and end up having and loving, and I'm just so happy now. And I'm stressed as frick about school, and I gotta do it all right now. It's not that much. I have to read a chapter of a book and um, do a reflection and go through some socials questions. But like, I think I think it would be really special for grade seven me to hear that that we make it to basically the end of April, what, 3 years later. I don't think she would believe me. Um, and yeah, just genuinely, it always makes me emotional for now, just thinking about that performance and what was said to me there. Like, all these precious little kids. I was in my element. I was so happy. I was around people that I've bonded so much with and care so much about. And these kids just showering me in love, and they didn't even know me. They met me like not even like what was it, like 30, 40 minutes before, and they're like telling me like I'm amazing, that they love me, and I was just like showered in this joy. And I've never felt anything like it before. Like that's what I live for. Those moments. And I even had to say to someone the next day, I believe, they were struggling, and I was saying like, "Hey, like you and I both agreed on this. We both said this is the reason we're waking up tomorrow. We're waking up for these kids. We are waking up to be that inspiration, and we're waking up to inspire." Because I think sometimes it's easy for us to all forget to be caught up in whatever our schoolwork that we have to do, our reflections, our work, like whatever is the task at hand, we get so caught up in it. And I think having not necessarily a staple reason, but something that is close to your heart that you are constantly thinking about, constantly believing, is why you're continuing on, why you're persevering, why you're waking up the next day. Like, I had to say to that person, I was like, we found the joy, we found that inspiration, we found the reason to wake up another day. Like, you can't just throw it away. You can't just forget that that didn't happen. You have to hold that with you and take that with you. Don't necessarily make it your whole personality, guys, please, please. But you have to embrace everything that you just shared with those people and those kids. You have to embrace that and carry that with you. I think that what we did on that trip is not just something we can throw away. Like, I'm for sure never gonna forget it. Like, I can't just say that, okay, it happened, I'm throwing it away, now I'm all stressed and sad again. Like, I'm so joyful. I am constantly thinking about the next thing that's gonna happen. I'm not caught up with, oh my gosh, I already did this and I did that wrong and this was wrong and I don't get that and this. Like, we're literally just going on day by day, moment by moment. I'm like, this is the next thing I want to do. Like, that's what I think is so amazing about this trip. It's just it's brought me this view to not look back and be caught up in looking back, you know? Like, maybe I'll look back to reflect. I'll look back on my grade seven self and be like, hey, you made it. But I'm not gonna be like, hey, like, you struggled for so long. Hey, you could have done better. That, like, no. I know there's so many things on this trip I could have done better. Gosh, I made so many mistakes. But like, but so what? no one's going to be like stamping my passport like, hey, you made a mistake at this bar, you can't cross the border. Like, no. They're there because of the impact you make, and you're carrying on because of the experience you have, you know? Like, you can't just leave it. You can't just be like, okay, it happened, yeah, goodbye. No. I think you have to bring it with you. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything. The tears, happy, sad, miserable, the illness. Literally, all of it. You gotta bring it with you and you gotta continue because just, yes, you leave parts of yourself everywhere you go. Yes. You don't just dump yourself down and like leave it for somebody else to pick up. You're constantly carrying yourself every single day, so you gotta get up and do it all again. I'm sorry, you do. Whether you like it or not. You're gonna do it differently. You've learned a lesson, you've found something you want to change or modify, like, go for it. Please, please go for it. It's gonna be good. And it's always gonna be worth it. It just takes a while to see it. You aren't just gonna snap and it's gonna be there. No. We aren't Thanos, we aren't Iron Man. We're human. And we are real. And simply just live in that reality, okay? Don't get stuck up in a fantasy that you wish was really there, wish happened. It's not gonna change anything, past or present or future. You just have to live now, and you can think about past or future, but live in the now. You know, I think I think that's very difficult. So we're gonna work all towards it together. We live together now, and we'll see each other in the future. Okay. Peace out, and bye bye.